My dear friends, picture us gathered here tonight, maybe in a grand old hall somewhere in the heart of America. I'm Napoleon Hill, standing before you, not with a book in hand, but with a fire in my heart, ready to share a truth that's burned in me through years of studying the minds of men and women who've turned dreams into empires. I've walked with the greats, Carnegie, Edison, Ford, and I've seen what makes a life soar or sink. Tonight I'm here to talk about you, your mind, your heart, and the power you hold to reshape your destiny in just 7 days. So lean in close, because what I'm about to share isn't just words, it's a call to awaken the creator within you. Every morning, most folks wake up and, before their feet even touch the floor, their minds start spinning like an old phonograph, stuck on a record that's scratched and worn. They're thinking about their troubles, maybe a harsh word from a friend, a bill that hit like a sledgehammer, or a dream that slipped through their fingers. Those thoughts aren't just passing clouds, they're emotional anchors, what psychologists call conditioned responses, tying you to memories of people and moments that weigh heavy on your soul. Each memory carries a feeling, anger, sadness, fear, and those feelings are the echoes of experiences you've already lived. The moment you let those memories flood in, you're not just thinking about the past, you're living there, trapped in a cycle that shapes what we call your state of being. That's a fancy term from the psychology books, but it's really just the core of who you are, the heartbeat of your character. If you start your day with a mind full of yesterday's pain, you're laying tracks for a future that's nothing but a rerun of the same old story, a story you might not even like. Let me paint you a picture, friends, because I want you to feel this. Say something got under your skin yesterday, maybe your boss overlooked you or a loved one let you down. You wake up today, and before you've even sipped your coffee, your mind's back there, replaying that moment like a movie you can't turn off. Your heart starts pounding, your jaw clenches, and suddenly you're angry or hurt all over again. That's your neural pathways firing, a term I learned studying the science of the mind with the likes of William James. Your brain's wired itself to loop those emotions, like a reflex you didn't choose. Let that go on for a day or two, and folks might say, oh, he's just having a rough patch. Let it run a week and they'll think you're stuck in a dark mood. But keep it up for months, years even, and those feelings don't just visit, they become you, they carve themselves into your personality, and before you know it, you're known as the guy who's always angry, always worried, always carrying a cloud. Here's the truth that'll shake you awake. Your thoughts are the architects of your destiny. If you're chained to the past, you're building a future that's just a shadow of what's already been. And that's no way to live. Now let's talk about how this trap gets set, because I know you see yourself in this. You wake up, reach for that shiny new telephone, maybe one of those sleek push-button models we're seeing in '69, and you're flipping through the morning paper, checking telegrams or tuning the radio to the news. You're plugging into everything familiar, everything that feels safe because it's known. Then you slide into your routine like it's a well-worn groove. You roll out of bed on the same side, shuffle to the bathroom, pour coffee into that chipped mug you've had forever, take a quick shower, pull on your work clothes, and hop the same rattling bus to the office. At work, you see the same faces and they push the same buttons. Maybe a coworker who always rubs you wrong, or a boss who never sees your worth. When the day's done, you hustle home to do it all again, like a script you didn't write but can't stop reading. That's not living, my friends, that's a program. Your subconscious mind, which the science of psychology tells us runs 95% of who you are by the time you're 35, is calling the shots. It's a web of hardwired habits, emotional reflexes, and beliefs that operate like a machine, a subconscious program that's stolen your free will. You might stand tall and declare with that 5% of your conscious mind, I want to be happy, I want to be free, I want a life that sets my soul on fire. But that's like sending a scrawny kid to wrestle a steelworker in a Pittsburgh mill. Your subconscious has been trained for years to keep you stuck, and it's got the upper hand. So how do you break free? How do you rewrite the story of your life? You've got to get past what we call the analytical mind, that part of you that overthinks, doubts, and builds a wall between your dreams and your habits. This is where meditation comes in. And let me tell you, it's a tool as powerful as anything I've seen in my years studying success. Meditation lets you slow down your brain waves. Think of it like tuning a radio to a clear, pure signal, cutting through the static. When you do this right, you step into what psychologists call the subconscious operating system, the place where you can rewire the very circuits of your mind. Now, I know what you're thinking. Most folks wait for a crisis to change, a broken heart, a doctor's grim warning, a moment that shakes them to their core. But why wait for pain to be your teacher? As I learned from the great minds like Emerson and Carnegie, you can choose to change in a state of joy, in a moment of inspiration that lifts your spirit like a sunrise. Don't let suffering carve your path when you can walk one paved with hope. Here's where it gets real, and I'm speaking to you like a friend who's seen your struggles. Most people live in what psychology calls a survival state, always bracing for the worst, always expecting the roof to cave in because that's what they've known. It's like standing in a field of endless possibilities, what some call the quantum field, and picking the sourest, most bitter fruit every time. Every time you dwell on a painful memory, your brain and body flood with the same chemicals as if it's happening right now. Your body is your unconscious mind in a way. It can't tell the difference between a real event and one you're reliving in your head. So when you try to let go of that pain, that anger, that fear, your body fights back like a loyal dog that won't leave its master's side. It's been conditioned for years to crave those familiar emotions, even if they're tearing you apart. The body, once your servant, has become your master, and it'll do anything to keep you from stepping into the unknown. That's why, the moment you sit down to meditate, your nose starts to itch, you remember a bill you forgot to pay, or a memory from 20 years ago hits you like a bolt out of the blue. Your body's begging, come on, let's go back to the old miserable routine we know. It's safe here, even if it hurts. But the unknown, my friends, that's where miracles are born. It's like standing at the edge of a deep rushing river, your heart pounding, knowing you've got to cross to reach the life you've dreamed of. Your body's scared because it knows that if you make it to the other side, the old you, the one chained to pain and fear, will fade away. Meditation is your bridge across that river, and I'm begging you to take that first step. When you sink into a deep meditative state, you're stepping into the unknown, and that's where you start creating your future. Close your eyes and ask yourself, what kind of life do I want? What kind of person do I want to be? Picture yourself living with joy, with confidence, with a love that fills every corner of your heart. Rehearse it like you're preparing for the greatest performance of your life, because you are. Your brain doesn't know the difference between what you imagine and what's real. That's what psychologists call neuroplasticity, the mind's ability to reshape itself, to carve new pathways. By mentally practicing your new life, you're laying down the tracks for it, turning your brain from a dusty record of the past into a shining map to the future. Now, here's the part that'll set your soul ablaze. So listen close. It's not enough to just think about this new life. You've got to feel it deep in your bones like a fire that warms you from the inside out. Thoughts are the language of the mind, but feelings are the language of the body. If you're not feeling the joy, the peace, the love of that future self, your body's not hearing you. It's like a radio with the antenna down, picking up nothing but static. When you start feeling those emotions, you're tapping into the universal energy, the infinite potential that's all around us. You're downloading that future into your present, and it's like a spark ignites in your heart, growing into a flame that lights up your whole being. You don't need to wait for success to feel successful, for wealth to feel abundant, for love to feel loved. The moment you start feeling those things, you're stepping toward them. You're no longer a victim, pointing fingers at this person or that event, saying, I'm this way because of them. No, my friends, you're the creator of your destiny. the artist painting a masterpiece with every thought, every feeling, every heartbeat. Let me tell you something about thoughts, because this is where so many of us stumble, and I'm speaking from the heart now. Your mind's a busy place, churning out 60,000 thoughts a day, and 90% of them are the same ones you thought Maru. If those thoughts shape your choices, and your choices shape your actions, and your actions shape your life, then thinking the same old thoughts is like walking in circles, never seeing a new horizon. Here's a truth that'll set you free. Just because you have a thought doesn't mean it's true. Just because a memory stings doesn't mean you have to carry it like a weight around your neck. Meditation, in its deepest sense, is about becoming familiar with yourself, your thoughts, your habits, your emotions. It's about catching those old, painful patterns before they drag you back into the shadows. It's like tending a garden. You've got to pull out the weeds, clear the rocks, and turn the soil before you can plant something new. Training your body to sit still and meditate is like taming a wild stallion. It'll kick and run at first, but with patience, it'll learn to trust you. Every time you notice your mind wandering and bring it back to the present, you're telling your body, I'm the one in charge here. You're building what psychologists call self-efficacy, a will stronger than any program your subconscious has been running. If you commit to this for just 7 days, my friends, you'll feel a shift that'll make your heart sing. You'll start catching yourself before you slip into those old heavy habits. You'll feel a spark of something new. Maybe it's hope, maybe it's courage, maybe it's a joy you haven't felt since you were a kid dreaming big dreams. Keep at it. And that new emotional state will start to feel like home, like a warm fire on a cold winter's night. You're not just changing your mind, you're liberating energy, moving from the weight of the past to the freedom of pure possibility. It's like breaking free from chains you didn't even know were holding you back, stepping into a world where you're no longer a prisoner of your own thoughts. So, take it from me, Napoleon Hill, a man who's spent his life chasing the secrets of success. You have the power to reprogram your mind, to step out of the shadows of yesterday and into a future that shines with promise. Start tonight, my friends. Let these 7 days be the beginning of a life that lifts your soul and sets your spirit free. The world is waiting for the new you. Go out and claim it.